Charlie Caldwell. I was given your number by a young lady. Said you live across from him.
Yes, sir, I sure do.
And I'm just trying to say you had maybe some information about what the world is going on.
Well, have you talked to Ashley?
No, I hadn't talked with Ashley at this moment.
Okay. I know of you through all this has happened. They said he had a brother. Um, I know that tomorrow, let's see, today's so yeah, tomorrow they're going to leave Pensacola and with him to bring him back to Louisiana with the police escort from there.
Yes.
In Louisiana.
Right.
What we've heard as far as the autopsy and all, have you heard anything about that?
I hadn't heard anything. I'm trying to really. I don't know. I've called a Detective Burnham or something. He was saying that he was seeing no signs of foul play or something of the sort. But Raquel was calling me, and I got like 55,000 conflicting stories on the matter. And now Raquel is saying that she's not going to be interrogated by the Caldwells, and she won't answer anymore.
Well, I can tell you one thing. I'm not new to this little rodeo of murders. My father was murdered. I've been following his case for 30 years. That woman killed Charlie. She let him drown. And he had a heart attack. The autopsy shows that he had a heart attack and died. So he shouldn't have been out in the water to begin with. She pushed him overboard and let him drown without helping him. And she's lying about it. She's told about 5 or 6 different stories to different people. And she was living. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. She came Friday night and brought his truck back, which I said, why in the hell is she using his truck? That should be into evidence right now. But you got to know, Okaloosa County, that they don't do the law like they should. They can't solve hardly anything in this county. So she's had his truck. She came to the house, and she was basically staying there. She stayed Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Or she left Friday, and I think she came back Sunday is what she did. And she was there up until yesterday, until Ashley and Ashley's friend got here, and the marshal and a deputy came from Louisiana.
Okay.
And they were going to pick up the SUV that Charlie drove with his work, and Ashley was going to bring his truck back with her. The Corvette, I guess, is going to stay in the garage. I didn't hear anybody say they were going to take it yet. But the story you're hearing from me is he's got a fiance that lives in Destin, and they were going to get married. And I figure that this Rochelle, or whatever her name is so jealous of him and Brandy that all day long Thursday when he got that boat, Brandy had texted him. He'd text Brandy at 5 o'clock. Brandy heard his voice on the phone, and he said, "We're going in, and I'm going to put the boat up, and I'm coming to your house for supper. I'll be there at 7." Well, supposedly at 7, she called 911 and said he had gone down, and nobody and told them where she was, and the Coast Guard went and picked her up. But where they picked her up at is not where they found Charlie.
Right.
That was in the bay. They found Charlie in the Gulf, and that's a little ways away from where she was. So this woman's lying, and Oakland County says her story is consistent. I keep saying it can't be. She's told 5 different stories, and all the neighbors around where we're at that knew Charlie, we keep saying, what are they trying to pull? That woman killed him out of vengeance, and she's like I don't know what to say she's like, but a vindictive, scorned woman. She was obsessed with Charlie, and she wanted Charlie for herself, and Charlie didn't want that. I've got my suspicions that I'm telling you about that, but there wasn't no slipping and falling. He had a hat on that Brandy gave him Wednesday night. Well, I'm the last neighbor that saw him at his house Thursday or Wednesday, late Wednesday afternoon, and Brandy had spent the night with him. That's his fiance.
Okay.
And she left Thursday morning. So, and I talked to him. It must have been Thursday morning before he left, because he told me he was going down and getting the boat. He bought his new boat. He showed me a picture of it, and I said, well, don't ask me to go out on your boat with you, because I don't do the Gulf. I can go past those jetties to get in the Gulf, and I turn green and I get sick. And he laughed. He said, and I said, is the water like that for me to be on a boat? I can't do it. So he laughed. But, I mean, I live right across the street from him here.
Okay.
And my name's Carolyn.
Okay, how you doing, Miss Carolyn? Miss Carolyn, my name is Larry Donnell Caldwell. I'm Charlie's baby brother by Barbara and Charlie Caldwell.
All right, now is Ashley your sister?
Ashley is my niece.
Your niece.
Ashley and Darnell are 2 of his children. Those are the older 2. Then I think you got Taylor. She's the baby girl. And we have Charlie the 3rd. He's somewhere in the middle in there. And, you know, I think it's 1 or 2 more somewhere. But
yeah, Charlie seems like he had a good life with that.
But I mean, that's neither here nor there at this point. Oh, my Lord, we are all distraught. Mom not feeling well. So, you know, we're going to have to tell her, but she's not feeling well yet. She was hospitalized.
It's going to be hard on her. Revenge. And she wanted Charlie, and Charlie didn't want her. He just wanted to be friends and drinking buddies. But she wanted more. But Brandy had given him Father's Day gifts, and she gave him a hat. And there's a video of the hat on his head, and he had called her and told her, you know, I got my hat on. Well, supposedly that hat flew off his head during the day, and he turned the boat around to go back and get the hat, and when he reached down to get it, he fell over into the water. And she said he came up. She's told one story that he came up and that he'd hit his head. There was no hit in the head, no blunt force trauma or anything to his head, no bruises on his body. So that's one story she told, and they proved her wrong. So what a bunch of us think is that she just was so mad at him, and they'd been arguing about Brandy, because she wanted him for herself, and she didn't want Brandy in the picture. She went as far as to change back in October. This is Rochelle now. She changed her driver's license address to Charlie's address across the street from me. she put her taxes address across in Charlie's address, and she put her let's see, a driver's license. Oh, and she had her mail sent to his house. And she said she was living in this house. Well, after this happened on Thursday, she came over there Friday. Put them back on. Oh, she came back on Friday and moved in. She said, I'm moving in. Well, the neighbor said, oh, no, you're not. You don't live here. And she called the police to us, and we were all out in the road fighting and screaming and carrying on. And I said, I know better than all of y'all because I'm closer to his house, and that woman don't live here. And they said, no, she doesn't. And but she moved in, and she called the law to us and almost had us arrested for going in the yard, and told us that she'd have us arrested if we trespassed and came up in that yard. And I said, you're going to be arrested for killing him, because I know damn well you killed him, lady. And they called the law, and the law told us, said, you have to leave, and you have to leave her alone. I said, that woman does not live in his house. I said, I know. I live across the street. I see everything that goes on over there. And I'm not being nosy, but it's right there in my face. And he says, well, ma'am, you need to stop. And I said, no, you need to get her out of that house. I said, the only way she's getting in there is through his keys in his truck, because that's where the house key was. And so they told her that he said, well, it's fine that she's living here. I said, she ain't living here. She's stealing from here. And there is 2 warrants there, or a warrant there in Louisiana for theft and something else that she's done. And she was taking things out of that house at night. And I watched her solid for 3 or 4 days, watching at night her doing and moving things out of the house. And I kept saying, you better put it back in the house, because you're going to get in trouble when Ashley gets here. And Ashley had called her and told her that they were coming, and she got in her car and she left. And she hadn't been back, but the law had gotten a hold of her and told her, don't be stalking this house, and don't be around, and you're not coming back in this house ever again. It does not belong to you. And she was saying, well, I'm the ex-wife. And I said, what? You wasn't even married to him for 36 hours, and you're saying you're an ex-wife of his? I said, woman, you're crazy. And so, me and her didn't get along at all, but I was hoping she'd come over in my yard, but she never did. But it's a mess, the whole thing. And what I've heard is, and I've met the marshal, was here when Ashley came. I guess they came with him and a deputy, and they were looking over the situation at the house, and we had video pictures inside the house so that if she did take something, we'd have proof of it.
Okay.
But what she was doing in that house was crazy, because she was stacking up Charlie's pictures and putting rubber duckies on the pictures. And she hid her keys from the law and told her his keys are inside under his hat on the wall. Well, why did you hide them? And she didn't say. This is crazy things that she was doing. So the woman is not all there. And she, like I said, she has told 5 different stories or 6 different stories now about what happened to him. And you just don't change your mind on stories when they're asking you what exactly happened, and that's what she did, or what she did, say.
They say the lady that sent me your number, you say that the marshals were saying something about she was going to be arrested. A warrant
Yeah,
or
there's a
something?
warrant for her, for Rochelle's, has a warrant on her there in Louisiana. And he said, we're going to serve it. He said, I can't, and he talked to her. And he told her, he said, you're going to be arrested. He said, it's going to take a couple of hours or a day or so. But he said, we're going to arrest you for these felony charges. And she's been stealing from somebody out there in Louisiana. So they're going to arrest her for that. But then they've checked into this case too, and they say no, this is not what happened to him. He was in too good a health. And that's what I said. I said he worked out all the time. And Rochelle even said that at one time she had a hold of his hand and she lost his hand. And that he had told her, Rochelle, help me. I can't, I see what's coming. You've got to help me. And she didn't do it. And she says, well, I threw him life jackets. I said, why in the hell didn't you get out of the boat and wrap the thing around him and take him to the back of the boat and help him in? And there's no answer to that question. But there's, in our minds, the neighbors, she cold-blooded murdered him. She let him stay in that water till he just was so tired, and it didn't matter how good a shape he was in. He couldn't hold on. And she left him there. And then she went back over to where the Coast Guard got her, picked her up, and said, oh, he had fell off the boat. Well, they were looking where she was supposed to be, where he was supposed to be in the bay, and they couldn't find him. And I thought, go to the Gulf and see if she put him out there. And that's what they finally did. They went out in the Gulf. Or no, somebody found him. A kayaker found him out there. I think it was Saturday morning.
Did they show a picture of the kayaker? Do anybody know who the kayaker was?
No. I haven't seen any video or anything of it. They just said a man on a kayak found him out in the edge of the water. That Sunday morning, I think it was, or Saturday. Yes, I think it was Sunday morning.
Saturday morning.
Saturday morning? Okay.
Yes,
There's been so many days go by, I can't keep up, and I'm really give out because I've been watching that hussy over there at his house.
Are you serious? Days are passing? I don't know. I hadn't been to sleep yet.
Yeah, I know. But see, I've had 3 heart attacks myself, so I have to really watch it. And, but I don't know. I hate that this has happened. And,
we have, I have 4,000 family members, and we're planning to come that way if we don't get some solid answers or some movement going here soon. I'm bringing every last one of them with me.
Well, I can tell you this. You're not going to get much out of Okaloosa County because they're as tight-lipped as they can be. And they don't, like I've already heard that they said that her story, there's some detective on this with the fish, the water game system. And he says, it came out today and said that he thinks that her story is consistent. And I said, you got to be kidding me. She's made 5 different statements of what happened to him. This is not right. You're going to let her get away with all this.
No, they won't.
And she lives out on 38 on the other side of Destin. That's a road out there. And she lived in an
Believe me,
apartment.
she gave me her address at the first time, like talking about crying and talking about she needs some support. I was like, you don't fuck with them fake ass damn cry shit. I don't know. Cause you one minute you're crying, and the next minute you're talking about I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna be interrogated by you Caldwells. One minute you're crying like a motherfucker, and then in 5
And it's
seconds,
the fake cry.
yeah.
Yeah.
And next seconds later, I'm talking about, oh, I'm not going to be interrogated by you Caldwells. I said, well, you ain't got to be interrogated, sweetheart. I'm on my motherfucking way. Excuse my French.
I'd have told her, I'd have said, no, bitch, I'm going to hang you from the highest tree, and you ain't going to be able to be interrogated. She's lying. I can tell you that. That woman is lying, and this is over jealousy, and she wanted Brandy out of the way, and I've even told Brandy, and Brandy, I grew up with my daughter, and she stayed at our house more than her own. And I've told her, I said, Brandy, watch your back. This woman is a psycho.
Hold on. You know, the doggone detective told me he hadn't talked to no neighbors.
He hadn't talked to me. There's been nobody over here talking to the neighbors. There's one neighbor right down from me that she has a taped conversation at 10 o'clock Thursday night down there where, on the bay where all this was, where they had, the Coast Guard had brought her up on shore. And she told the neighbor 5 different stories within an hour of what had happened. Fake crocodile tears. There was just nothing that added up.
Right.
And this woman has got it. Her name is Susie, and she's got it on tape or on her phone. But
Right. I sure wish I could get in touch with Miss Susie and see could I get her to send me that recording.
oh, so you want to put it on broadcast?
We wanted that. Like I said, we have 4,000 people here that's waiting to hear something back about Charlie Caldwell. And I got to get them something, or other than that, you know, I don't know what's going to go on.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you this. Brandy Chantel was his fiance, and she can tell you better, and she's got proof of what she's telling you. I don't.
I understand.
I'm listening to Brandy tell me, and Brandy sending me messages, and I'm trying to help Brandy out. And then Susie, she's got the tape of taping Raquel saying all those 5 different stories. I just don't believe that they're going to let her go. But the way it's looking, they're saying, oh, her story's consistent. No, it's not. It is not. And she's on drugs, and she's drinks a lot. So, it's
gonna be nothing will be changed, but I mean nothing will be changed from what you said, but it'll be your exact conversation that we're having now. Nothing different.
Yeah. Well, in my heart and what I know and all, she has murdered him, and she's gonna get away with it if somebody don't keep stepping up and getting the right story out here. And
What about that nephew? I hear hearing about a nephew.
Yeah, we heard that too.
About that, he works at the marina too, or something.
He works on the boats or something. I guess he works there. I'm not sure where he works, but I even heard that his story was not consistent with what he told the Fish and Game Commission. That but now that guy's coming back and saying that Raquel said, what she's saying is consistent. Well, she must have been sitting over there at Charlie's house for the last 2 or 3 days drinking her sorrow away, and she's got her head back. So I don't know whether that boy was with her. Brandy had told me that that conversation that he had with her that morning, that he used it as they are waiting on me, but I just want to get the okay from you that she goes out on my boat with me this afternoon for a little while. And she said, well, you've either got to pick her or me. You're not going to have me if you're going to have her. And he said, it's not like that, Brandy. He said, I'm just friends with her, but I want all this to stop because I don't want to lose you. And that, she talked to him then, and she talked to him at 5 o'clock. He said, I'm coming in, and when I get the boat loaded and all, I'll be at your house at 7 o'clock to eat. And that was the plans. But that got changed. He never showed up. And then we started hearing the story. So it's just a shame to me because I'm sitting here going, no way. She killed him. And what I don't understand is if she's the only one that was on the boat with him, she should be in custody being interrogated with all these questions. But they haven't done that to her. And I don't understand why. She's the last one to see him alive. But she's told 2 or 3 different stories about how he went under and didn't come back. I had a hold of him at one time, and he slipped out of my hands. I threw him life jackets, but he couldn't get them on. Well, why didn't you jump over and help? You know, none of these stories are adding up.
She told me they didn't reach him.
She had moved the boat away from him. It's what we believe. She moved that boat.
That's what I was telling the detective this morning. If someone is saying, Raquel, please don't leave me out here in the water, let me die out here in this water, that means somebody might be driving away from them.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what, I believe that's what she did. And she didn't get it. She felt like, I'm a scorned woman, I can't have him, she can't either, and nobody else is going to have him. So I'll just fix it. And she let him drown in that water. I know that's what that woman has done. And I've said it all ever since I heard that it happened. I said she killed him. And, you know, I said, I know that's what happened. And then, you know, to have her address changed and all that and have it all put at his house. And I told the law, I said, she does not live here. Me personally, I haven't seen that woman in his house coming or going since he's been living here. That's not the cars that I have been seeing, is not that car. But you said a minute ago that she told y'all that she was going to need some help.
Yes.
Financially.
Support.
Well,
She needs some family support. She said she needs some family support.
Well, she ain't going to get none from no family around here, I can tell her.
That's what she was telling us. They called me Blodge. Like, oh, Blodge, oh, I need you. We need some family. All that old crazy shit. And I'm like, what the fuck?
She needs to get out and get it. Well, she's got
but then when I make an attempt to come down there, she go, well, you gotta come down here. I'm gonna call the claws on you. Have the laws arrest you guys and this and that and other. I'm like, what in the world is going on?
She's crazy.
And then
she has.
Moments later, they call me and tell me they found the body.
Have you ever heard of a woman that wants a man so bad that she is obsessed with him, and she's got to have him, even though there's nothing really there, but in her mind, she thinks there is, and yeah, he was supposed to have told her that day out there on the water, look, Raquel, there's no me and you. I'm in love with Brandy. I'm going to marry Brandy, and there won't be no more of this me and you that you think that's here.
If you
And I
ask me,
think it just ate her up all day long because Brandy texted him, and Brandy even got messages or sent him messages that supposedly after he died or after that 911 call, it had been looked at, and she was looking at Brandy's messages on Brandy's phone, or on his phone. And now what we're saying is, where's his phone? What happened to it? Nobody said anything about his phone.
mm-hmm.
And then somebody told us, said, hell, he wasn't worrying about losing no hat. He could have gone to the store and bought another one. Gotta get the keys. And it's none of the pieces, fit together. And in my opinion, she's guilty as she can be. And if I could just get a hold of her, I'd get the truth out of her. And if she didn't call that number and wasn't screaming and hollering and saying, help, my man has fallen overboard, he needs help. Now, when Brandy called me and told me that this had happened, she was screaming, crying, hollering, bitching. And I said, Brandy, I can't understand you, honey. You're going to have to slow down. I said, what's happened? I know something's happened. So what did she do? And she said, she's killed him. She's killed him. And I said, oh my God, no. So, but I haven't heard this woman act like Brandy. And I know Brandy loved him. But she, this other one, Raquel, no. This is just, it's in her mind that all this went on, that she's obsessed with him. That's all I can say. She's an obsessed bitch, and she wanted him, and she wasn't going to let nobody else have him.
Okay.
And I tried my darndest. Let's see.
Well, I can tell you, if you don't mind anything that that comes about, that's my number that you're talking to me on now. If you can kind of inform me, like I said, I got over 4,000 people that want some answers, and like I said, they're talking about rallying up buses and stuff and coming that way and just to get some answers.
Whoa. Yeah, they don't want that to happen. But I don't mind. I'll keep you informed of anything I hear, and what I'm getting is I'm getting it straight from Brandy.
I've talked with two other young ladies, Micah and I can't think of the other young lady's name anymore. I forgot right now, but.
Is it Susie?
No, it wasn't Susie.
Susie's the one that's got that recording right after this happened.
I think Micah has a recording too, but I don't know if it's the same one.
I can give you her number.
I mean, make sure it's okay with her first.
She'll probably tell you, because she's already turned her stuff over to the detective with that fish and game and wildlife guy. So she won't mind you calling and talking to her.
Good deal. That'd be ideal. Well, I'm gonna write it down right now.
All right, let me get to it. And my phone is wacky, so if we get cut off, you just have to call me, or I'll call you back.
You have been a wonderful, and we thank you, and y'all thanks you, because we are true believers in Christ. So we are praying for everybody, but sometimes things happen. So here's what it is.
I know.
Yeah.
But
Thank
we're
you
not
so
going to
much.
give up on this. The neighbors are not going to give up on this either.
I'm like I said, we're coming down there if things don't change between now and next week, but now and this weekend, but things are going to change drastically on Shreveport's end and on Destiny's end, due to the fact that you guys are going to get flooded with tourists.
Yeah. Well, I'll keep you, if anything, if I hear anything else, I'll keep you informed, because I got your number and I'll call you.
Okay, well, once again, my name is Larry Caldwell, and I'm Charlie's baby brother, and we are the children of Barbara and Charlie Caldwell.
Okay.
Thank you,
Well, I'm trying.
You are
I'll
awesome.
do whatever I can do, because I see the picture on the wall, and I can't believe these law enforcements are so. Do you know what premeditation murder is? Okay, that's what this bitch has pulled off. She started this back in October, because her Brandy and Charlie has been going together since December. So they got back together. They had known each other, but they got back together, and they've been on and off. You have your little spats, but she didn't want Charlie messing with anybody either, But Rochelle kept coming into the picture and wouldn't leave him alone. And Brandy told me, she said, "Mom, I don't know what I'm going to do." I said, "Well, Brandy, you can do this." I said, "Just put him on the spot. It's either me or her. Take your pick." And he even told me, I think it was Wednesday afternoon or Thursday morning. This Thursday morning, because I was off, and I had walked over there. He was going to help me with a project that I was doing. He loved Brandy, and he was going to marry her. And I said, "Well, you damn sure better take care of her. I'm telling you that. And I'm not going anywhere." So, and he said, "I do." I said, "Okay, then stop. Don't do nothing to hurt her. Not when I'm sitting here watching." So, this is just, I was just knocked over when I heard it, because I thought, no.
Justice will be served. If I have to take it to Al Sharpton, if I have to take it to the White House, because my brother trained for Secret Service. He trained for so many different agencies. So that's how I know he wasn't no unfit individual. So wherever we have to take it to, if whatever, I can't recall what you call that town where you live in, and if that town is that incompetent, I'm going to talk with Joe Biden or someone in the White House to see about, law enforcement. It need to be reformed anyway.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that one, because Oakland County's always been known. If you want to knock somebody off, come up to Oakland County, because they don't solve a murder case. That has been forever.
Well, we'll see, can we get some of the Black Lives Matter rally peoples up there and stuff as well. Because there's too many blacks being murdered and nothing done about it. So I know they'll love to hear this. And then a prominent black man here in out of Louisiana, one of the first black marshals ever in the city, and they done just murdered him in your county. I know they would love to come with us.
Yeah. Well,
so I'm sorry though, but it's not going to have nothing to do with you. We're going to love you. We hope that you march with us.
Okay, I will. I just want something to change, because I see, and it's not just the black people either. It's the white people, because my daddy was a funeral director in this county his whole life, and his father, and we had the funeral home here, and somebody murdered him, and it's never been solved.
Our condolences goes out to you, and our heart pours out, because we know. Well, I know how you feel, and my colleagues do as well. We all done here recently. Life is getting out of here so fast here in the 2020, 2021, 22 areas. Life moving fast, so we got to kind of, just like I say, we come in peace, come in the name of Yah, the Most High.
All right.
And anything, if we have to do something, we're gonna always make sure that we do it and ask them about whatever we're doing first before we take any actions.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why.
I'll keep you posted.
Thank you so much.